Hey everyone, Diavolo here, and welcome back to the spoilers that have just dropped for chapter 222 of Tokyo Revengers. If you guys are new around here and want to keep up to date with the latest spoilers for Tokyo Revengers, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, and more, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and also be sure to leave a like on the video, as it really helps out with the algorithm and pushes my stuff to a bunch of new amazing people. But anyway, enough of that, let's get into the video. So obviously there's been a lot of speculation on whether or not what happened at the end of 221 with Draken being shot and falling to the ground was Takemichi's future sight. And obviously, I don't want to be the person, to disappoint a lot of people, I guess you could say, but that definitely wasn't Takemichi and his future sight, as far as I know at least, from comparing them to, obviously recent chapters where Takemichi has had these little slight visions of future sight. This was kind of too much, as it obviously showed what had directly happened and how it happened pretty much, along with the fact that both it looks like Senju has also noticed as well. So why would Senju turn around and look, at Draken, who seems to be lying on the ground, if Takemichi was just having a future sight when he turned around? So it does seem like this is 100% actually the case, with Draken actually being shot and falling to the ground. And something that I do want to point out, and something that a lot of sites have pointed out, is the fact that the guy that seemed to shoot at Takemichi pointed out that he did miss. So I'm wondering, when did Draken get shot, by who, and how exactly? Because as we know, him and Inui have left obviously from where they were together, I'm assuming on the exact same bike, and then arrived at the amusement park, and both probably split up to find Takemichi, as they would have had better luck doing that instead of sticking together. So what I'm actually thinking is, because that guy missed and he was aiming originally at Takemichi, he didn't actually shoot Draken. What I think happened is someone else has shown up and shot Draken, and Draken has also defeated them, possibly in a scuffle with Inui, as a lot of the website have been saying that there's kind of like two possibilities here. I personally think that there's three possibilities for what could have happened or what could go down in the future. The first is that Inui was also shot when they both turned up to the amusement park, as they were probably ambushed in some kind of way, and Draken, while, wounded, has managed to find Takemichi and save him before collapsing. So that's something that I'm imagining has happened, although it's kind of hard to speculate really what's gone down exactly until we get this new chapter, as a lot of it is just, rumors and theories that are going around at the moment. There haven't been any confirmed spoilers for this week as of yet. Which is also, if you guys have been wondering why I've been doing, I guess, less of the Tokyo Revengers spoiler videos in general, as it's just because the people who were releasing them on Twitter have had their accounts sadly suspended for, I guess, releasing spoilers too early, and, Twitter didn't like that, or the people behind it didn't like it apparently, so they've decided to end their account, which kind of sucks, but I guess we're going to have to live with that at the end of the day. So I'm doing my best to, kind of source them weekly from specific sites that I used to get them from, but they're not too accurate. So I just kind of want to make spoiler videos that are more kind of accurate or interesting towards the chapters that are coming up, and I don't really want to say things that I believe, might not happen at all. Like one week I said I think Coco was going to show up, and we only just saw Coco and Mikey last chapter. So obviously I want to kind of stick to things that are more or less, pretty much certain to happen. The second theory on what could possibly happen with Inui and Draken is that Inui is actually the one who's kind of planned this ambush by getting Draken, to come along to the amusement park, knowing that Senju and Takemichi are there, and possibly even shot Draken himself. I don't really believe that at all, to be honest. From, in the past, we obviously know that he wants to save Inui, so I believe more or less that he's going to try and work with Takemichi, and if Draken has fallen here, then he's going to become, the Shifuyu. He's going to become Takemichi's right-hand man and help him out throughout this arc, as he already has in some kind of way with, letting Draken know that this was going down, that people were looking for Takemichi. So the fact that people are suspecting that he might be a traitor is extremely interesting, but I highly doubt it at the moment. What's going to go down though with Mikey is, I think we're going to stick with Takemichi for this chapter, as obviously it's his perspective that we are getting throughout the story. It's Takemichi's perspective that we are getting. So the Flash going over to Mikey and seeing him for, that moment, I guess, is just kind of just letting us know that he knows something is going on at the exact same time. And I thought it was quite weird that him and Draken are extremely close, Mikey and Draken, and I thought it was quite weird that Mikey seemed to know that something was going on at the exact same time that Draken had probably been shot. So I'm wondering if Mikey had anything to do with it possibly. I'm still like going towards my own thoughts of Hanma being this overbearing force that is kind of behind everything. I think he's the leader of the so-called like North rokuhara tandai that we haven't been introduced to yet. A lot of people think this arc is going along like quite quickly now all of a sudden, but I think this is actually just the beginning of it, and we're going to get some extremely crazy outcomes that could possibly even happen throughout the series. Like over the past few days, I've been kind of formulating a theory and an idea on how I think Takemichi might actually, with the help of Kazutora, go back to the very beginning and save Shinichiro. Because as funny as it sounds, if Takemichi ends up saving Shinichiro, it kind of fixes everything that has happened throughout the story so far, as Mikey has got that elderly brother to look up to. So if he's able to stop, you know, obviously a younger Kazutora from killing Shinichiro through the use of Takemichi and Kazutora jumping back together, because as we know, if Takemichi ends up going to the future again, him and Kazutora have always been the closest together when trying to figure out what's going on with Mikey and trying to help him. And this is, you know, another timeline in which Kazutora believes that Mikey did not choose this path, he was manipulated into it. So it makes a lot of sense for me that this is going to be quite a long arc, and Takemichi, kind of like in Tenjiku, is going to be able to actually go back at some point throughout this arc, and then he's going to figure out that if he makes deals or pledges with specific people, that he can use them to travel back to specific points of time to kind of fix things. So if he does figure this out, and he's able to do this with Kazutora and fix it from the very beginning, it's kind of the only way that I see everything fixing itself now. Because if Draken is actually killed here, Mikey's going to end up spiraling more and more into like death, that it's going to be completely, I guess, unfixable. And then again, the only way I'm wondering if Takemichi is even going to be able to go back to the future is we know that he was holding Mikey off the side of a like 10-story building when they teleported, or when Takemichi teleported. So all we know, all of a sudden, Takemichi has gone limp while holding Mikey. Mikey's fallen and died, leaving possibly Takemichi unable to travel back to the future if he's died as well while lying there and bleeding out, unless the medical services have got to him quick enough and been able to, you know, resuscitate him so that he can possibly even jump back to his body. But that's just a kind of thought that I'm having. I really do like that idea of Takemichi fixing everything so that everyone is alive, and we get that, you know, we had that picture of Draken, Kazutora, Mikey, Pa, Emma, and I'm pretty sure even Naoto might have been there, and they were all chilling around like a table, and it was just after Emma's death. You know, that was something that was also almost like a future sight that Takemichi kind of had in a way. There've been like these little images that Takemichi has gotten throughout the entire story, even going back to when Baji got stabbed, as he didn't exactly see the stab, but for some reason he's given this internal image of Kazutora stabbing Baji on his opposite angle. So like he's been giving these little images throughout the entire story so far. So I'm wondering, you know, if that possible image there was an image that could have been, and could still be, if Takemichi can jump back using Kazutora. Obviously, that's just a thought. A lot of people are suspecting, you know, as I've said, Inui is the bad guy right at the moment, I guess you could say, and has lured Draken into this and then shot him before he could somehow save Takemichi, which I don't expect. A lot of people are also expecting there to be a massive fight coming out this week between possibly, you know, Mikey, the Rokuhara Tandai, and Takemichi, who are all, you know, at this amusement park. Well, Mikey feels like something's bad, so he could have shown up to this amusement park. But yeah, that's more or less everything that I kind of have, you know, on the top of my head at the moment, and kind of what I am thinking. If you guys are still here and have managed to stick through me rambling throughout the entire video of my thoughts that I'm kind of having with the series so far, be sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what you think and where you kind of see everything going from here. I also want to thank, you know, everyone for 10k. We just hit 10k, I think it was 2 days ago now. So be sure to drop a comment down below in the comment section and, you know, ask me something that you've wanted to know for a while now, perhaps. And I will chuck that into my Q&A video that I will be putting out probably later throughout this week. So be sure to either chuck it down in the comment section below or go to my community tab and chuck it on the poll that I've put up there for you guys. And yeah, as I was saying, obviously I'm only going to stick with these spoiler videos now if we are given some extremely interesting stuff and I have a lot to talk about. that could definitely happen throughout this next up and coming chapter. So obviously these are things that I'm expecting to kind of happen throughout the next few chapters and throughout 222 as well. But yeah, if you guys are new around here and want to keep up to date with latest spoilers for Tokyo Revengers, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece and more, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and also be sure to leave a like on the video, as it really helps out with the algorithm and pushes my stuff to a bunch of new amazing people. Also be sure to check out my membership option if you guys want to, you know, like help me out even further. But anyway, enough of that. For now, it's been your professional degenerate, Diavolo, and I'll see you all in a bit. Bye.